Hello! Oh, Jesus. Anyway, so today's video is going to be the Q&A of the ear pointing video. If you haven't seen that video already, that is part 1 that explains my experience, the different types of ear pointing, and this is just going to be a Q&A that you guys ask me questions on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. Let's get into it. So first question, are there different sizes you can get your ear? If so, how do you choose? You can't... Excuse me, sir. You can't choose exactly how your ear is going to look. It all matters on your anatomy and how it is. Also, I want to point out that maybe your ear is different from the other ear, or you have jewelry or old scars or larger gauge jewelry, or there's like so many things that come into this that affects on how your ear will come out. The best thing that you can do is, email them and send them like pictures of your ear, both ears, and if you have any problem areas that you're worried about, like let's say you stretched out your helix anywhere on your ear to like a larger gauge, maybe that might affect it, but you might want to email him, take pictures of that or whatever problem you have, and ask him, because I'm not the one that does the ears, so I can't really give you advice on that. Yes? When you subconsciously tuck your hair behind your ear, do you forget about it in the new shape and accidentally hit it? Not really. Not only that, but my ear's smaller now that we actually cut away from the ear. Holy moly, Wilfred. Just boop. It does get less hair tucked behind it because, like I said, my ear is smaller because we did cut away from it, but it's not a problem. But I never really do that anyway, so. And then this question I get a lot, do you hear any different? The answer would be no overall, and if so, would it be too much of a difference? My hearing's exactly the same. I've heard people say that their hearing's better. I haven't heard anyone that said like it's shit. It's all the same. Do they or did they itch? I still had the stitches in at the end of 2 weeks. They itched, and then every now and then they itch now, but they do peel, like whenever you do cut an area of your skin, you usually get a scab and the skin peels. It's the same exact thing with your ears, so it's just healing tissue. It itched a little bit, but there is that. How long do you have to wait until you can wear your ear jewelry again? I'm assuming that you're talking about the plugs that I used to wear. I was a 00, but that was like a fresh stretch, so when I went into it and took out the plugs, of course they're gonna shrink a little bit faster since it was a fresh stretch, but I had to wait 3 months to put that jewelry back in, and I had to wear something lighter, so like an eyelet made out of titanium versus like a solid stone plug. So you want to be a little more gentle with it because you don't want any pressure or tugging on the ears. How high is the risk of infection for the ears? Infection really isn't a problem. It matters on how you take care of it also, because he's doing his job, he's keeping it sterile. The procedure's totally fine. How it goes with infection is totally on you. If you want to get antibiotics, that's totally up to you, and I know Sampa's okay with that, so you could do that. I didn't get antibiotics for mine, but if you are worried about that, or you just want to be, on the safer side, that's totally okay. You can totally get antibiotics too, but the infection risk, I would say, is very low. I'm sure Sampa he would be able to help you more with that question than I would. How is sleeping with them so far? Super easy. I use like an airplane pillow where you just put it around your neck. I just put my ear in the hole and it's totally fine. I would say like the first week it was a little bit rough to get used to sleeping with that instead of a normal pillow, but now it's like nothing. So these questions kind of just are in the same area. It's basically, if you regret having them done, can you go back to the normal shape later? No, it's 100% permanent. If you think about it, you were cutting parts off of your ear, and you really need to consider like what your lifestyle is, because this is permanent. It's not like a piercing where you can take it out. It's not like a tattoo where there's like lasers now and shit for that. This is something where you're cutting it off and you're like, it's gonna be different forever. How will it affect any piercings? Let's say if you want to get a piercing in the future. On the helix. So I would say anywhere that was modified or has any stitching on it before, anything in the helix area would be a no for piercings. a helix piercing is more important to you than getting your ears pointed, maybe don't get it. Other than the helix, you can do like the flat, the conch, tragus, your lobe. You still have like a lot of areas that you can play with to make like an ear project if you still want to do that also. Is there any care involved with the ears even years after having them? I would just say maybe if something ever happens to the ear and you need to fix it, you would just have to go back to Sampa and have him fix it. That would really be it. Has anyone noticed your lovely ears out in public? What compliments have you received? And what does your family, friends, or boyfriend think about it? Family, friends, or boyfriend, I don't really know. I'm sure it's positive. Either way, I don't really care too much. Alex, I know he was really excited for me to get them. He was like, oh, it's gonna be so cool. Yeah, I don't really mind too much about that because it's something I got for myself, but that's positive, so yeah. In public, nobody has said anything, but then again, not that many people say too many things about my appearance in public. So basically, no, and I haven't got any rude comments either. I wouldn't be surprised if I got any rude comments, but that's just on their personality if they're gonna go out and say that themselves. Did you feel it, and how much did it hurt? So you don't have to worry about the pain at all. It's not really painful. At the end, it did get a little bit painful and sore. And like I said in the first video, I did wake up in the middle of the night with it aching a little bit, but after taking ibuprofen, the pain went away. If you're really, really worried about the pain, if you can take a tattoo or piercing, you can totally do this. This is a lot easier pain-wise. You can email Sampa if you have more questions about the pain. It's really not that bad, and it's not something you have to worry about though. Are you planning to get any ear piercings or mods? Yes. So I didn't get any piercings on my ear because I was waiting until I got this done, and when I'm fully healed, I will get other piercings. I am trying to do very large gauge projects on my ear, and you know, there's only gonna be like a similarity, like one similarity between the two. And then I'm going to have a piercer do a project and then have a different piercer do a project on the other ear. So I can't really say I know what's going to happen because I'm just going to tell that piercer do whatever the fuck you want. So I can't really say I know what's going to happen. What do they feel like when you touch them, and can you wiggle them? I've never really been able to wiggle my ears in the first place, but there is some feelings that you will lose for the first couple months. But when I first got them done, I could only feel it right here, and then it started moving slowly up, and now a month and a week in, I can feel everything but the tip. I can't really feel the tip all too much, but I can slightly feel the pressure. I will be able to feel my whole ear later on after healing, so, and I'm not too worried about that. You hear them scalpeling your ear. Yes, but I thought it was kind of cool because when he cuts the tissue, certain types of tissue and how they're shaped and what type of tissue it is, it sounds different. I thought it was really, really interesting. It wasn't like gross. I did get really nervous about that. I was like, oh, I'm gonna be able to hear everything and it's gonna be kind of gross. It's not that bad. It's kind of entertaining, honestly. Is that weird? That's probably really fucking weird, but it's not a problem. And then I get this question a lot for some freaking reason. People are wondering if I will stop wearing my gear after getting my ears pointed. Just because someone gets a modification, that doesn't change everything that they do. You know, just because I have a tattoo on my leg doesn't mean I'm going to stop wearing pants. People are like, are you trying to be a cat? Are you trying to be an elf? What are you trying to be? I'm not trying to become something. It's really how every modification is. They just like it, so they get it. My fangs, my piercings, my tattoos, my ears, any modification has no correlation with pet play. People want to know if I'm going to show my ears more. As you can see, my hair's down today. It's not something I got to show off. If you're serious about it, be professional and actually email them, contact them, research it, and ask the price, and you can get your answer there. If you guys have any more questions, you can ask Sampa or email him, because I'm not gonna know the answer to everything, because everybody's experience is gonna be different for this. I didn't have any piercings. My ears looked pretty much the same before. You know, my situation was a little bit easier, so if you have certain things, definitely email him because you're gonna get a better answer from him. So yeah, anyway, I love you guys oh so much, and I hope you guys have an amazing day and amazing journey, and I will see you guys next week. Bye. Meow.